Joining me now is good friend of the show, good friend of Rebel News, and a fierce champion for freedom, Rick Igercich of Canada's National Firearms Association. Rick, I've been meaning to have you on the show for a couple of months. Our schedules just wouldn't line up because we are both so busy. But I wanted to first and foremost talk to you about the latest Liberal gun ban. That again, they are just ramming through without the scrutiny of Parliament. And you and I were talking off camera about the potential for another gun ban, again, while Parliament is completely prorogued. So the government does not have a mandate to do these things, and still they're going to do them. So take us all the way back to the latest gun ban, and then walk us through the next one that's coming.
Oh, well, thanks for having me on your show again, Sheila. Yeah, let's go back to December, where the Liberals, in their wisdom, decided to drop another gun ban on us. This one really affected a lot of people. They basically banned bullpup-style semi-automatics and pistol-caliber carbines. Now, this pistol-caliber carbine thing is really, really reaching out in all directions. We've been working with a couple of IPSC IPSC shooters by the name of Melody Filson and Taylor Reich, both out of Calgary, both out of Alberta. And they're scheduled to compete in the World Championship Pistol Carbine rounds in Chesnea in May. And now they can't go because their rifles became prohibited. Their rifles are in the safe, just like the original Ordering Council AR-15s and the other 1,800 rifles that were pulled off at the same time in May 2020. This has been going on since May 2020. But with that said, it also affected Canadian industry. Lockhart Tactical out of British Columbia. They did everything they could to stay within the guidelines to produce firearms, to create jobs, collect taxes in Canada, and now the firearms they produce became prohibited. You know, we've been working with them trying to put their plight out there on our social media. People just don't realize what this ban did. Other businesses affected were Kodiak Arms here in Ontario, a producer of firearms, Crusader, and another company out of Ontario. And, there's many more Canada-wide that, we don't have enough time to mention. This whole deal was originally put forward as another Liberal political ploy to gain support. Didn't work this time. People basically wrote it off in about a day and a half, and then with that said, the public safety minister said that there's going to be another addition to the firearms ban in the middle of February. The word we've been getting is that there's going to be SKSs involved, possibly Lee Enfields, military, World War I military rifles, Ross rifles, anything with a capacity of more than 5 rounds. It's nothing short of ridiculous of what the Liberals are doing, but at the end of the day, it's backfiring on them. There's definitely an election in the air. Sheila and I were just discussing before the show whether it's going to happen or not. Jagmeet Singh is so unpredictable that he's looking for any way to stay connected to the Liberals. He's more of a Liberal than a lot of the Liberals that are working under Trudeau right now. So, that's where we're at. But, we'll talk a little later. Igor Polyev has made some statements. Actually, an anti-group, what are they called? They made a statement a few days ago that Igor Polyev is soft on gun safety because he's working with Canada's National Firearms Association. They actually put that out in social media a few days ago. Unbelievable. And Polyev has been sticking to his, no pun intended, sticking to his guns. So, that's kind of where we're at right now. They've been changing public safety ministers as they, as much as some people change their clothes. So I don't know I don't know who this McGinty guy is. I don't know a lot about him, but he's been really quiet on the firearms issue. So I don't know. We'll see. I guess we'll see who it is next week, Sheila. We'll see who the next public safety minister is. But then again, at the end of the day, this is all under a prorogued parliament. So it's hard to understand.
You know, it's the idea that they are going to go in and ban the SKS. They floated this the first time around when they did their massive ban. I think it was in the first one. There's so many gun bans happening in the last 4 years. I've lost track of when they all happened, but they floated the idea that they would get rid of the SKS. The SKS is one of Canada's most popular firearms. For those people who don't know, they were completely unregistered. They are cheap, affordable to shoot. They have been available for years at gun shows. They are not a crime gun, by the way. So they don't even know how many of them there are. So for them to now say, we can go get them from some people and now put a price tag on what it's going to cost to compensate all those people for the firearms, the Liberals have no clue. They're completely making this up. But this is what they do when they're plummeting in the polls. They pull out abortion and firearms. And we've watched them do both. The pro-lifers and the firearms community, they seem to be the whipping boys for the Liberals every time they fall in the polls.
Absolutely. And there's the other thing, too. We've been getting wind. There's a lot, they came up with this price list a little while back. And there's a lot of people out there. I'll give you an example. A PMag for an AR-15 normally sold for about $25 or $30 a plastic magazine. Blocked to 5 rounds to fit in an AR-15. They put this list together to pull these parts and magazines off the street, and some of the prices are triple and quadruple. So people are taking advantage of that. I heard actually, and I've been on the road, and my people have been on the road, talking to Canadians in the States and all over Canada. I heard that a lot of these dealers are turning these parts that are connected to some of these firearms on the Order in Council. And they're getting paid. They're turning them in. Nobody's got paid yet, as far as I know. But all these parts are showing up. Colt Canada is destroying these parts, supposedly for the government. All these parts are going to Colt Canada in Kitchener, and that's where these parts are supposedly being destroyed. Now, everybody's happy. I've got skids of AR-15 magazines that I pay $8 for. I'm getting $60 for them. But, the elephant in the room is I haven't heard of anybody getting paid. Government is prorogued, and where is the money for this? Right now, there's no support in Canada for industry groups. There's a group out there sold out to the government, created these lists. I just came back from Safari Club International in Nashville, talking to hunters in there. And hunting in Canada, especially in the West, as far as sheep, moose, bear, is big. It's big revenue for Canada. It's big taxes for Canada. It's huge. And these people are having trouble bringing their guns in. So we went down to talk to these people. We created a pamphlet. It's on our website on how to bring guns into Canada and the problems that you might get into at the border. And a lot of people have been getting into problems at the border crossing. So we created this pamphlet to help everybody, but it's beyond that. It's the Liberal government is so-called doing conservation, which they're not. They're actually messing up the moose herd. Bear at Blackburn, Ontario are running rampant because they closed the season for a few years. There's more to it. And everybody that I spoke to at Safari Club was concerned about what's going on in Canada. Canada is the go-to for big game hunting. And these people, these Liberals, have no idea how this is hurting tourism, how it's hurting income coming into these small towns, income coming into these guides. It's ridiculous. There's no end to it. This whole firearms ban thing, this whole, well, we're gonna hug some trees and we're gonna try to save these animals, has blown completely out of proportion, and it's blown out of proportion worldwide, because it wasn't just Americans down there. It was people from around the world that hunt in Canada. And, it's not like these guys are spending peanuts. When they go on a sheep hunt, some sheep hunts are $125,000. Yeah. These people pay $125,000 to put into the Canadian economy, and now it's questionable whether or not they can do that. Same thing at SHOT Show. SHOT Show was on at the same time as SCI. My guys were at SHOT Show. Our lobbyist, Tom Blair, Nathaniel, and Chuck were down there. The biggest concern at SHOT Show we found this year, and we talked to all the Canadian people. We go down there to talk to a couple things. American advocacy groups that are on the same line as us, and Canadian vendors, wholesalers, retailers. The biggest concern in Canada is, number one, the Canadian industry groups have absolutely no representation. This isn't me saying this. This is them saying it. They have no representation in Canada. NFA will definitely be working on that to get them some representation in Ottawa. The people that are representing them right now are the people that sold out for $750,000. And now they created this list. Now, apparently some of these people are happy because they're turning in all their parts, but nobody's got a check yet. So I don't know where this whole thing's going. This government change, our lobbyist has been working every day. Like you, Sheila, I hear a different story every day. One day, Jagmeet Singh's going to do this. The next day, there's going to be a legal action. The next day, there's going to be an election on the 25th of March. It's a never-ending, almost like it's a never-ending chain of lies. My opinion, and a lot of Canadians are thinking the same way.